here we are, another episode of Bar Buds.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight we have an amazing guest. His name is Aaron Polsky.
Hello.
Hi.
Happy to be here.
Welcome. You were a fascinating human. Like, we're just getting right into it. You fascinate me. I knew you in New York. Not that well though. Like we kind of ran in the similar circles of the bar world.
Yeah, just barely crossed paths.
Yeah, and but you were always cool. You always had, like, from what I remember, you were always like studious in a sense. It's like you actually cared. That's really what it was.
Yeah, I was young and I was super into making drinks and trying to push the envelope and doing the thing the young bartenders do, and I really cared about being different and doing cool things and creating an experience for guests that was, outside of the box. So
Yeah.
it was pretty fun.
Yeah, I mean,
You're still doing that.
Yeah, just outside of a bar.
Yeah.
We made it.
I'm not a real estate agent. Yeah, so
Exactly.
How old is this? So cold these cans are. Thank you. See, what do you think? Are these cold enough? Should we let them sit for another couple minutes?
Yeah, they're cold.
Cool. We've got some of your hard work right here that you've been kind enough to bring onto the show for us. Thank you.
Canned cocktails that are actually fantastic.
Yeah, really, really good. That part is like needed to say, unfortunately, because there's a lot of fluff out there.
I mean, look, from high noons to whatever else is out there, it's like, it's all kind of garbage to me, until I actually have these. And this is not me plugging you but I am plugging you.
Yeah.
Livewire, y'all need to have this if you haven't.
His name is on this fucking can. How cool is that?
That's true. My
Look
name
how
is on
sexy
the can.
this. Look how sexy this fucking can is. It's got an
Oh yeah,
accolade.
of course you had one. Yeah.
It's got an accolade on it too and shit.
This is
It's
insane.
so cool.
Yes.
What's Oro Blanco grapefruit? Is a specific species of grapefruit from a specific area.
Yeah, Oro Blancos are they're yellow on the outside, yellow on the inside. So or golden and white, as the name implies.
There's the salesman.
Yeah. So Oro Blanco literally translates to gold and white, and that's what they look like. You see them growing in people's yards here, but it just has this bright, super juicy grapefruit quality that you saw it in this drink.
Yeah, and I love kumquat. I always actually have a hard time finding a way to use it, just because it's so citrusy.
Yeah.
It like usually overpowers the cocktail for me. But
It's fun to eat the whole thing.
yeah.
It looks like a little baby lemon.
That's the way,
You know, the whole thing.
Yeah.
I think they're fun to muddle in the cocktail. Muddle them.
Yeah.
Build a drink over it like a fixed style where you muddle them in the bottom, add crushed ice, add your blended drink, and that's a good way to use them. Then you can make syrups out of them. They have like a nice sweet tart quality and the bright oils that lend themselves nicely to a
It's
syrup.
not like an oleo. I guess you
Yeah, we could probably do that. That'd be a kumquat oil. Would be really fun.
kumquat oleo.
Yeah, it would be pretty wet though.
Yeah.
If it pulled all the liquid out of the kumquats,
That's a good point.
But
Didn't even think of that.
might as well try it.
Yeah.
Why don't we start now?
Yeah.
Keep the cameras rolling.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So
Practice
come
these
back
over.
in like 5 hours.
Yeah.
5 days.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Well, we have a little game on this show, but it doesn't feel like a shot kind of show. So I say we just do a sippy for our little cheers. So this is just a simple game where we build a cheers part by part. So I'll do an example of all three parts, and
Okay.
then we'll all take a part.
Great.
So if I was the first person, I would go like, the coolers are not enough. And then the second person would say, the ice needs to be colder. Then the third person would say something like, to all the warm days, go to hell. You just go. So another.
Okay.
Let me give you another example.
It's an interpretive dance of cheerses.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. That's
Sure.
the
Most accurate way.
That's
to
how
do
I
it.
feel doing it.
Yeah.
Great.
Okay.
Do you want to just jump in? You want another? I can.
I want you to start.
Okay, I'm gonna start. Yeah, you can model it.
Or you could eat it whole.
Or you could boof it.
Great.
Cheers.
That's That's a term I haven't heard.
Stick it up your ass, guys.
Yeah.
Everything. That is the answer.
We're an
Stick it up your ass.
NC-17 podcast, so you can just go ahead and say anything.
Oh man, this is good.
That's really nice.
You had the other one, right? Because you had the Rocky Queen
I had the
last time.
margarita, I think, or
No, it
it
was
was like spicy something.
We don't do a spicy drink.
No.
You might have been drinking another brand.
No.
it
We were
was
drinking.
like
We were
one.
drinking yours. It was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. No, after the Whole Foods.
Yes.
The run-in.
Yes.
Yeah.
The Whole Foods.
That's when I saw him at the Whole Foods.
So it was
Oh,
either
so
this or
Mafia
the
hit or
yeah.
something.
Yeah.
The Whole Foods run-in.
It's funny. I think of every time I post my demo schedule on Instagram, right? And I'm like doing free demos at all these stores. I'm like, man, this is like a really good way to just like give people an assassination plan, right? Just be like, oh, he'll be here from 4 to 7 these 5 days.
Or to find out.
This is how I can kill him very easily.
Yeah.
It's a good way to find out if you have any assassins.
That's true.
Because you could be laying in wait.
And also a bad way, because then, you know.
I could be assassinating the assassin. Yeah.
You're really.
It could be a trick.
You're really missing an opportunity here.
It's a trick.
Don't say that. It's not a trick. Come assassinate
It might
him.
be a trick.
Come
may or may not
Go
be.
ahead. Feel free to come try to. Succeed at assassinating Aaron Polsky at his demo days.
Please don't, because these
Try me.
things are great.
Try me.
Fuck.
I wonder what the ocean.
Yeah, if I die, the recipes die.
Dude, how
True. That's the
how
threat
long
on
did
the
it
air.
take you to, like, bring this to life? Like, what's the story?
Yeah, so when I was in New York, I was bartending. This is how we know each other. And at some point I started getting press, which was really cool, right? Feels great to be in the paper and on a cool website, on the Eater, on the New York Times, whatever. And I realized pretty quickly that, like, beyond stroking your ego, that press doesn't really do a whole lot for anybody, right?
Yes.
Feels great to be in it, but if you're a reader, just an avid cocktail fan, and you're across the country and you read about some bartender in New York, it's hard for you to get there, right? It's hard for you to try that drink. And for the bartender, like, you're not really making any money on that press. It's not like if you write an album and, you know, Pitchfork picks it up,
Yeah.
people can download it, people can buy it, people can get tickets to your show.
Very true.
You know, if you're a bartender, you're sort of constrained to the four walls of your bar. So I wanted to find a way to expand that and expand that reach. So that's what got me started on it. 7 years later, after I had already moved to LA, I was managing Harvard and Stone for about 3 to 4 years. I left, and I sort of decided, like, you've been working on this concept for 7 years, like, do it. Like, now's the time. And I did all the things I needed to do to get it off the ground, and I ended up launching 2 weeks before the pandemic, March 3rd of 2020.
Jesus.
And yeah, that was
Good thing or bad thing for you because you're not a bar, so you're not
Constrained to
it's
those
not as
walls.
bad as being a bar.
right.
But to build a brand, you saw me at a Whole Foods, so right now I'm in a Whole Foods 3 to 5 days a week, or another liquor store, but I do demos 3 to 5 days a week. I'm out there, I'm meeting people, I'm making fans, I'm meeting fans.
That's crazy.
I'm like getting Instagram followers. I basically, somebody comes up, if they don't buy, I put out my phone with the QR code and they scan it and they follow. So it's like, it's constantly like, really feels like building a business brick by brick, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
In the liquor business, if you start a brand, you build it by doing tastings. I couldn't do that for 2 years
Yeah.
because of COVID,
Yeah.
right? Bevmo didn't bring it back until the end of 2023 tastings.
Wow.
They were the last ones of the chains that I know of, but you know, it's like, it's brutal to try to build a brand. So it was a lot of like, I was out there, I was doing everything I could, I was getting into accounts, but people from the do you shop on Instacart?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you find new items when you're on Instacart?
No, you go for what you know.
You go for what you know, right? So when you're at home in the middle of COVID, you're ordering handles of
Right.
Tito's, right?
Yeah.
So it was definitely playing the game on hard mode. It still is, right?
How long have you been doing the demos schedule?
So I started like really actively doing demos in, I want to say late 2022, like summer of 2022. I
That's when
started doing
things
it.
started to kind of
Yeah, but that wasn't in Whole Foods. Whole Foods in California started in 2023. So I started doing those demos then.
Are you doing demos all over the country, or mainly here?
Mainly here. So I find that a lot of doing it is like, especially when you're doing a chain, part of it is, you're meeting people at whatever demo you're at, right?
Yeah.
And you're meeting as many people as the store, has. So like, I used to do them all over SoCal and all over NorCal. And then I kind of realized that like a sale's a sale, whether it's 3 miles from your house or 300 miles from your house, or even in just a SoCal sense. Like there are some stores that I don't really go to that much anymore because they're far away. It's like an hour and a half to get to.
Yeah.
They're not the busiest stores. So I do downtown LA, I do Silver Lake, I do Burbank, Culver City.
More bang for your buck.
More bang for my buck, less travel time.
Yeah.
I'm still a one-man show. So
That's insane.
I'm doing everything.
Yeah.
So like to, take an hour and a half, 3 hours out of the day to travel to a demo instead of an hour or less.
Yeah.
Not really worth the squeeze.
Jeez.
Yeah.
That's impressive though. That's, seriously, I mean, you really are the, quote unquote, American spirit, Like,
I feel like a cigarette.
yeah. Burnt at one end. No.
Do you resonate with other people who are in that process of, or have been in that process of, like the first thing that comes to my mind is, I don't know if you heard, I think it's Felicity Day or something like that. She was the lead, and she like built out this show, the Guild, I think it was what it was called, which was like
The Guild.
it was like a early onset YouTube show about someone who's like slowly meeting up with all the people that she's been playing World of Warcraft with. But I guess just anyone who's in like video production, do you have any people that you kind of resonate with on your solo journey, as there are other people out there in the social world who are social media and just building businesses in general?
So with respect to building businesses, like my favorite podcast, obviously is Firebuds, but my second favorite podcast
so much.
is How I Built This.
Mm-hmm.
It's Guy Raz. It used to be an NPR podcast, and he interviews like very famous entrepreneurs and business owners.
Nice.
So like the founder of Spanx, the founder of Starbucks, the founder, and then I mean it's been hundreds and hundreds of episodes now. So now it's like recently it was the founder of Liquid Death and the founder of Athletic Brewing.
Oh, so you're just trying to get in there.
Liquid Death is probably the most.
You could be on that show.
I would love to.
Fascinating.
I would love to.
Yeah, exactly.
And honestly, like there are times when it gets really tough. Lots of times it gets really tough. And I try to tell myself like this will just be part of the story that you tell on how I built this. But I do listen to that podcast a lot, and I have found that I've made friends with a lot of entrepreneurs in specifically like the consumer packaged goods space. So mainly beverage, but some food, where your friends are people who understand you, right? And who understand what you're going through. And in a way it's like a little unfortunate that, previously almost all of my friends were bar people. And they definitely support and they want me to succeed, but a lot of times like people don't really get the day-to-day pains of what you're going through in the same way because they have different day-to-day pains. And so I found myself becoming friends like the sort of daily texting with people who own liquor brands because they get it. You don't have to explain the problem. You can just vet the problem.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's fun. Are you attending a lot of these holiday parties with other liquor owners this coming holiday season?
As a sponsor, generally.
That's fucking great.
Yeah. There are a few that I'm sponsoring or supplying some product to, but I don't think there's one. Well, I guess one of them is for founders, but I should probably throw one.
Yeah, you should.
Why not?
Hey, we got time.
You got time.
We got time.
Yeah. That's really.
It's really cool.
It's really cool.
Thanks.
Yeah, it's really cool to see the one coming from the bar to the entrepreneurial space and fucking running it. I feel like part of your tenacity and strengths and things like that, translated from the bar from the bar world and doing that for however long you were doing it for, and yeah.
It's such a beautiful can. I can't get over it, and it's such a great drink.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, are you commissioning artists to do these things, or are you?
Yeah, kind of. So every cocktail, so you mentioned my name was on the can. It's not because I'm a narcissist. It's not only because I'm a narcissist. We work with different bartenders. So each drink that we make, we have 8 drinks right now, is made by a different bartender. And they choose an artist to design their can. So we put the bartender's name on it. We actually have a can refresh coming out that'll have the bartender's photo on it as well. And the bartender chooses an artist for the can art.
Holy crap, that's great for the culture.
Yeah, so it's very cool. They're all different artists. They're all super accomplished. This one is Henry Lewis. He's an amazing tattooer. He did an awesome tattoo on my arm. And he did 2 of our cans, actually. But
wow.
Yeah, so it's
I love what I would assume is man butt.
Yeah, it's
It
secret.
could be female butt.
It's mine.
It's your butt?
It's mine.
It's your.
So I told
I love your man butt then.
Thank you.
In transit
Thank you.
property.
Dude, it's like a little bigger now, but I can
Well,
I can show you. It's
Get
you
it
hold
out
up
there
the
for the
There's a lot of
camera.
booty in
If
this.
you hold up
Let's
the
see.
can.
We need a.
Well, yeah.
Booty
so
to booty.
There we go,
It's,
guys.
We gotta get
the
you in these
pants
pants.
are less
Let's see
tight
if everybody,
than those.
Anybody in the comment section, please.
Come on,
please,
get in there.
Yeah, there you
Get
go.
in my
Butt to
so
butt. You guys could be
Boof in the butt.
You could be boofing it with Aaron Polsky by drinking a
we
lime
could
water.
let's boof together.
Cheers.
Cheers. So it was funny when I asked Henry, I was like, yeah, I want this to kind of be like the Motley Crue Too Fast for Love cover, like the Sticky Fingers cover,
Oh,
where it's
yeah,
like the
yeah.
front is like, the knee from the thighs to like here, and on the back of the album it's like it's a
The
booty.
backside.
And he was like, all right, man. He like texted me and he's like, send me a photo of your business district. I was like, all right. I sent him a photo of the business district and he drew it.
I'm totally gonna use that now. Ladies, if any of y'all want to come to the business district,
The business district.
give us a call.
Well, I don't live downtown, but I do reside with the business district.
I like it.
Yeah,
I like it.
there's something there.
Yeah. Wow, man. How many flavors do you think you're going for, or is there like a set number, or is it just
You gonna keep it seasonal, or are you just gonna be like,
So all of them have been relatively permanent. Our Troppy Pop has been a seasonal release, so that's nearby here in Echo Park. Thunderbolt has their signature drink, and it's a Troppy Pop. And,
Wow.
I worked with Mike Cavaferri to make that in a commercial format as well.
Oh.
They sell it canned at Thunderbolt, but we just reworked it a little bit to fit so all of our cans are 7.5%.
Nice.
Thunderbolt, the Troppy Pop, is significantly higher, but the can is smaller. But there they serve it with ice.
Smart.
So what you find when you make a cocktail, when you try a canned cocktail, the higher the ABV, the colder it has to be to taste great. So, that's why when you were like, is this cold enough? Yeah, it's cold enough, right? It doesn't even need to be super cold to taste good.
Yeah.
But with anything, higher the ABV, the colder it has to be to taste good, to be drinkable, right? And so 7.5 was very intentional because when you're at a bar, you can make somebody a drink however you envision them drinking it, right? If you want to shake it, if you want to put it over crushed ice, any of these things, you have perfect control of how that drink goes out. At home, or when you release a product into the world, you don't have that kind of control.
Yeah.
So it has to taste good under a range of temperatures and a range of circumstances. So we lengthen them. So the other thing too is that 7.5% on the 12-ounce can is 2 ounces of 80 proof spirit. So it's one normal cocktail, right? It's like one whiskey sour, one gimlet, one daiquiri. It's 2 ounces of 80 proof.
You're getting trash right now.
Yeah,
It's
so
like,
that
wow,
should one can should feel like you've had one cocktail, right? But it shouldn't feel like more. So because cans aren't resealable.
No.
So we wanted to make it simple. We wanted one can to be one drink. So that didn't answer your question. There will be more flavors.
fruit from
That
that,
actually
that
gives me-
answer.
That gives me more questions.
Right.
How many people have been working on this with you, or has it just been a one-man band that's essentially this whole run?
So I've had part-time people like over the years,
Yeah.
like help with sales in different parts of the country.
But as far as the formulation of your cocktail,
Oh.
do you have like someone that you bounce ideas off of? Are you just literally in your lab like a mad scientist going over it?
Well, so it's the bartenders, right? So the bartenders come to me with a cocktail idea.
Okay. Yeah.
And it's either a cocktail that they've made at a bar already. So Joey Bernardo, who works at the Broken Shaker, he has a drink that he was making at Harvard and Stone called Honeydew Collins, and we make that. And at the bar, it was one of the top sellers. It was gin, honeydew, lime leaf, coconut, and Saint Germain,
Yeah.
and lime juice, right?
I think that might have been the one we had.
I think it was.
Yeah, because coconut was the one was on the can.
So we have a couple of coconut. Was it
Okay.
like a black and green can?
I think maybe.
Or
Yeah, I
was
remember
it?
green definitely resonates.
Yeah, I mean, if it was a can and it had coconut, well, we actually have a couple. There's the Crystal Shiso Mojito, which is a full-on green can, and it's
Are you sure that's not the one we had?
rum, shiso, coconut, and shochu.
Ooh, that sounds great.
And lime.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
That sounds
So that's Yale's drink. But anyway, so Joey brought me that drink, we decided on that drink with Joey, and if you were to put those things into a can, you would have probably like a raft of fruity like gunk at the top.
Yeah.
At the top or the bottom. What I do is like reconstruct it to taste great in the can and to be stable in the can. So all those things, lime leaf, the elderflower, the coconut, the honeydew. I work with an extract company and they
Holy cow.
send a bunch of extract samples and like a bunch of rounds of each. So like with coconut it's like 10. Like 10 different extracts of coconut.
Do you know how they're extracting?
So I can only specify to them what I want it as far as natural and artificial, organic, all this stuff. We go for natural, right? But like this company is the biggest in the world, so they can do anything, and they make amazing extracts. But I don't specify to them this is how you do it. It's like getting a plumber, right? Fix my toilet. I can't tell you how to do it.
Yeah.
It's the same as these people. Like they do all the things that you're thinking of. They do washes, they do infusions, they do distillations, they do all this stuff. But like,
Very cool.
unless you can specify to them what it needs to be, like if you're making a kid's drink, you're gonna want a non-alcoholic
Right.
flavor base,
Yeah.
right? Or like a non-alcoholic solvent. So you can tell them it has to be alcohol-free. It has to be able to emulsify with oil or emulsify with water. Like they can go like super intense.
That's intense.
But I don't specify to them the method. They just send like a bunch of flavors.
Did they tell you with the flavors like, okay, so now you have a honeydew that came back your way? They're like, hey, we did this one with liquor. It's gonna be 26% for your knowledge.
Yeah, they send data sheets for
Okay.
everything. Yeah.
Is it typically something that, because you are working in canned, do you find that it's easier to get things from them that have alcohol because it's such a useful process in extracting flavor? Or do you think it's more often than not like sugar that's binding it or citric that's binding
No,
it?
there's no sugar in it, and there's
Okay.
no acid in it. So the what they send is basically straight aroma.
Okay.
Right? It doesn't like it kind of has a taste, but it doesn't have like sugar, acidity, and I'll tell you more about that in a second. But I go to them. They send like these samples. We choose like 3, and then I go to the bartender. Or I'll choose I'll filter out the ones that don't work, right? Because I know what we're going for. And I go to the bartender and I'm like, hey, these are the 3. I think it's this one, and we either agree or we don't. And then once we decide, we've done it. So we'll prototype it with a micropipette. So that's thousandths of a milliliter. For measurements of those flavors and extracts. Same with the bitters, we use a micropipette. The sugar we do on the drug scale, the acids we do on the drug scale. So it's so precise that when it's time to scale up,
You're ready for
it's
it.
just math.
Yeah.
Right. Like there's basically no adjustment. We'll blend it if on the first run we'll blend carbonate the carbonation increases the acidity by a little bit, and the bartender will come out to the distillery, taste it,
And
approve, tweak, whatever. But if anything, it's like a little more sugar, a tiny bit more acid, and it's like,
That's so cool.
then we lock it in.
Yeah,
But
that's so cool.
This is so fantastic. I really can't get over it. Sorry.
Thanks. With the sugar and the acid, so sometimes I'll do seminars and I'll show people how flavors work, and I'll take like natural blueberry flavor, right? Which we don't even use, but I have samples of, and it's like a good thing that people know. And I'll make, I'll put out cups for like tasting cups on like a placemat for the whole room. And so the first one will be the equivalent of like a White Claw or a hard seltzer, where it's flavor, vodka, and water diluted to like 5% alcohol. And they taste it and they're like, yeah, this is like kind of blueberry. And then the next one will be plus citric and sugar. And they get like the citric and sugar playing with the blueberry, and it's like, okay, this is like more like blueberry. And then we add the malic acid that we use.
That's so cool.
And it's like a little more, and then we do like
So you
2 more iterations of what we do until we reach the final form of how we make our drinks, but with just a single flavor of blueberry. And like by the time they taste that last one, they're like, oh, this is like I'm chewing on the fruit. And it's because like your brain is so used to blueberry being sweet and tart and like, you know, having a little bit of salinity, right? So that,
trick in a sense.
yeah, so that when you taste like, you know, you ever get like an aha water on the plane? Like the flavored sparklings?
Yeah.
And it's like watermelon, or this or that, and you taste it and you're like, kind of.
Yeah.
You know, it's because it doesn't have those other things in it. Like if you add a sugar and a good balance of acids to that water, you're like, oh, this tastes like fucking watermelon, you know?
It's really, the science of taste is so interesting because you're messing with smells essentially,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
it's that blend and balancing balancing act of those smells that really get your taste buds going, right?
Yeah.
And you're like a wizard, basically.
Yeah, you are kind of a wizard.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Well, my name is Harry, so I'm a wizard.
And you do have the amazing hair, so.
Um, Did you have to learn any like I don't know, like biochem or like organic chem or anything like that for knowledge of things that you need for like mass production and laws on like qualities or quantities of things that end up in this can?
Alchemy, yeah.
Blood,
Yeah, once I could figure out turning lead into gold, I was able to nail it. I
Sweet.
Now
didn't
you're
have
just
to.
doing this for fun.
Sweet.
I didn't like have to learn anything, but you know, the co-packer that we worked with to start and are working with now still, he helped with a lot of regulatory stuff, and he helped with a lot of formulation stuff as well, like working, it's Ventura Spirits, and working with Anthony, who's a distiller there, who has so much know-how, was very helpful. Like one of the ingredients that we used ended up being not only there for flavor but also for buffering some acidity, and like that was his sort of suggestion. He sort of knew the use around it, and he, you know, he runs his facility, and he runs a very like clean and well run, yeah. And so, you know, all the things that he did, like for example, I wouldn't have known to blend in one tank and then run it through a sterile filter and then blend in the next, and then carbonate in the next rather. But that's all stuff that he knew, and it's like we came up with some of the like modifications to the formula together through trial and error.
It must have been a fun time. Just
Yeah.
going through it.
Yeah.
Just going through
Sometimes it's stressful time, right? So like the first time,
A lot of effort going into something that you're gonna hopefully taste like what you wanted it to taste like.
yeah, and like the things that happen in a time sensitive fashion. So like our first blending day was February 28th of 2020. We canned on March 3rd. And we blended everything to the mixing tank, including the extracts. And then he's putting it through the filter and putting it into the next tank. And he's like, hey, you want to taste it? And he pours it. And a lot of our extracts are oil based from the citrus, and when you put it in, you know how you add water to absinthe and it louches in clouds.
Yeah.
So it's sort of reverse louged, right? The oils went in and they reverse louged. It was like this cloud that went into the 3,000 liter tank. And then he pulls it off the filter and it's clear, like clear. And I was like, is this water from the rinse? And he's like, no, this is the product. And I was like, fuck, what?
Whoa.
And so the filter started stripping the flavor. And this is like the very first. And we needed to sort of decide in real time what to do, because the filter is a sterile filter. So the filter is 0.47 microns, which is smaller than any bacteria or yeast or fungus. And so it's meant to strip that. But the method was like mostly clean, and we had a natural preservative that we were dosing at the end. But like natural preservatives aren't like the nuke preservative. So like sodium benzoate, right? You've seen that probably on a million labels. Sodium benzoate just kills everything right away, but also like not allowed in Whole Foods, not allowed in like a lot of stuff. And it tastes bad. So like you can, people say it's imperceptible, you can taste it. Like you can feel it in your throat, it tastes like a little chemically. The natural ones are sort of like a last measure of insurance. They're sort of like, run the process cleanly and add this and you're good. But it's not like benzoate where it's like, you're good because we just killed everything. So we had to decide what to do. What we ultimately decided was the stuff that's in here is clean, right? Like the extracts are alcohol based, so they're sterile. The acids are powders, they're sterile. The honey is sterile. So like we're pretty good. We're gonna use that preservative at the end. And so we cut the filtration. We only filtered half the batch and then set the rest through, and then dosed it, and it was fine. But it was like, I had to decide what to do.
That's a risk that you're essentially.
Do you still do that practice, or was that just?
No. So from now, what we learned is we add the flavors after filtration.
Because they're sterile, so it's totally fine to add them to that second tank.
Yeah.
This is
so cool.
They're like fascinating.
You are so cool.
I'm not.
No, it's
like
it is amazing.
You're literally. It's funny because you started this whole interview by saying like I was doing all these things that young bartenders do, and then you're now doing the things that the young bartenders don't dream of doing, that can't dream of doing. So you're kind of still doing it in a way.
Yeah, it's like a whole different toolkit.
It really is.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
And you're making it for such a wide audience now, and anyone who doesn't know, you dropped a name there, Tropopop and Thunderbolt, and they just hit the 50 best bars in the world. I think they're like 30 something. Is that right?
Yeah, second year in a row.
Second in a row. Yeah.
Maybe third actually. Yeah.
And the Tropopop has a big influence on that, so you have a large influence on that.
I suppose. I feel like I am not influencing the bar. I feel like I'm taking it out of the bar and giving it to the people, right? So like the Tropopop is at SoFi Stadium. That's really cool.
That's pretty cool.
Right? Because now it's like somebody who might have gone from San Diego to see a Chargers game is now trying a cocktail that's made at an LA bar that's one of the best bars in the world.
Wow.
Just as their football watching drink.
Yeah.
And that's really what the goal of the brand always was, is to make these world-class cocktails available in a casual setting of your choosing.
That's amazing, because that has always been the problem. Like you have these highfalutin cocktails that are only drank by people that know about that stuff.
Right.
So.
I think this is the best canned cocktail I've ever had in my life.
Thank you.
It is.
If it's not this one, it's the one I had 2 weeks ago, and they're both your creation.
The brand.
And then if it's not that, it's Tropopop, and you also had influence on that. So
Well, if it was the one you had
gonna
2 weeks
become
ago,
you're gonna become the Snoop Dogg of canned cocktails.
that's great, because Snoop Dogg is trying to become the Snoop Dogg of canned cocktails, and he's had enough.
Yeah.
So,
Well, get in his DM, slide in there.
no, he's competing with me.
No,
He's got gin and juice out.
You
Oh,
just
should I
send him this
intimidate him?
ass.
You should.
Should I just send him intimidating DMs? It works generally.
No, I
in
see the
hip-hop
sexy
battles.
DM. Show him this ass.
Okay.
Get in there and be like, Snoop, you've lived a
I like
long
that.
life, just admiring women.
Snoop, I'm coming for you.
In a sexy
expect a DM in a
way.
sexy way.
Or an intimidating if you don't respond to the sexy, Snoop. So
This is where me posting my demo locations becomes a problem. Snoop's gonna see it.
no, he's one of the
He's
ones
gonna
who-
come
not
after
saying
me.
Do you
word
think
here.
that he's
This
part
is-
of, I think he's one of the ones that was not doing assassinations.
I don't know.
Okay, we can't say
This is where it gets messy.
Yeah, this is where it gets
This is
messy.
where it gets
We'll drop the Snoop Dogg thing here.
Whole Foods is gonna have to be cleaning my brains.
I've had, how do you feel about, is it weird to bring up Death and Coast cocktails?
No.
Canned cocktails? They're okay.
You know, they do a different. So
I said okay, and I meant okay. This is the best canned cocktail I've ever had in my life.
Thank you. I appreciate that. The reason why ours tastes different from Death & Co.'s and from everybody else's canned cocktails pretty much is that virtually every other brand out there uses juices. Juices are great in the bar, right? But you guys know this very well. Juice goes bad after 2 days. It doesn't matter if it's in a can or not.
Yeah.
Right? And you get cocktails that are shipped around the country, sit in warehouses of distributors, sit on store shelves. This is not an unusual thing. I mean, everything in grocery sits on the shelf. Sometimes for months. That's just the way of the world, right? And so you have to create something that's stable on the shelf, right? Coca-Cola, stable on the shelf. Sprite, stable on the shelf. Minute Maid orange juice, also stable on the shelf, but doesn't taste good, right? It doesn't taste like the juice that we in the bar world have grown to espouse and like hold more sacred than all else, right? Fresh juice is like king. That's why we throw it away after a day. So everybody uses juices. We don't. We use extracts and we use acids. And so what we do is we rebuild a lime juice profile from the organic acids that comprise lime juice.
Deconstruction.
So yeah, we basically do that. What it results in is a stable product, a consistent product, and a product that doesn't taste like it turned.
Yeah.
Right? And so that is the main difference. So we're not relying on the juice for flavor. We're relying on the oils in the rinds for the aroma. So we're able to have that super vibrant, super bright profile without using juice. So that's what sets us apart from the other cocktails on the market.
Have you been contacted by Shark Tank yet?
I haven't. Shark Tank, to my knowledge,
It's a matter of time.
only does wine and beer.
Oh,
because
those sons of bitches.
spirits are not like syndicatable, right? There are some states that don't allow, like Utah. Like
Isn't that
spirits
Mormon
on
territory?
TV.
That's
Yeah.
Mormon territory.
Yeah.
They're rich. So.
That's my understanding. I've never seen the spirit on Shark Tank. I've seen wine, beer, meat.
Oh, so they can't release it across the whole just because Utah.
Yeah.
But
But also,
fucking Utah.
yeah.
Snoop Dogg, we have a common enemy right now.
Have you found that have you played with any sort of milk-based canned cocktailing situations? Is that even possible with the fact that you're dealing with fats instead of...
You mean like actually releasing a creamy cocktail, or do you mean more like a milk punch? Like a
Um,
clarified thing, or just like with cream?
With, I guess either one. Like, is something like a clarified... I imagine that could be. But is something like a clarified cocktail cannibal? Is a creamy cocktail truly cannibal?
So we have a range of bottled cocktails as well.
Oh.
So
okay.
we have bottles that are meant to be poured over ice. So one of them is kind of like a clarified milk punch. It's built, not clarified. So it has that taste profile, but it doesn't, we don't dump milk and juice into a vat. We sort of do a similar thing as we do here. And that's basically, it's a coconut lime bourbon sour.
Oh, that sounds good.
That's awesome. It's by Shannon Musfer out of New York, and she's amazing. It's 33 ABV, and it looks like an old fashioned, but it pours like, but it tastes like a clarified sour.
And who's the bartender?
Shannon Musfer. She wrote a book called Tiki Modern Tropical Cocktails. She was at Gladys Original. She was at Blue Hill, Manhattan for a while. She's like she does lots of tiki events, lots of like rum seminars and talks and stuff. She's awesome.
My kind of girl, yeah.
Yeah. Next time she's out, maybe I'll tell her to come on the show.
That'd be great.
That'd be great. Bring her to Desert 5 too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will.
Yeah,
I will.
Have a good time.
I like to get the out of town guests twisted when we do that at Desert 5. But as far as the creamy drink, so I don't know that I would can it. I don't know how. Well, there's another brand of canned cocktails out there called Yoju that I really like, and it's a yogurt soju sparkling cocktail.
What? What?
Yeah, and there's like it has like a milky, like almost nigori sake kind of like look to it.
Yeah.
But it's a sparkling yogurt soju, and there's like a lychee one, a passion fruit one, you know, like those
fun.
flavors,
Yeah,
and
that's
it's
fun.
awesome. It's
Yeah.
really good. You know, the main success story for a milk-based drink is like Bailey's, right? You know,
Yeah.
Bailey's is in a way a ready-to-drink cocktail.
Yeah.
You can tweak it to like remove some sugar, like add some sugar, you know, remove cream, whatever. So,
Yeah.
but as far as a canned cocktail, I don't know. I wouldn't want to crack a can to think about what would be on the other side of cracking a can that has cream in it.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of why I asked, because I couldn't really imagine like.
But like coffee based, right? You could do like a good
Yeah.
like coffee based like sweet drink.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
like
true.
a sucker for a slutty, sweet, chocolatey,
Yeah, me too.
coffee,
Yeah.
vanilla.
If you can add liquor to a macchiato, I'll look past all of the sugar that I would have gotten at,
Yeah.
at
Yeah.
Starbucks.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. I mean.
I made eggnog last night.
Oh
It
really?
was awesome.
Oh man. My favorite.
I have decaf coffee syrup and I have decaf coffee vodka if you wanted to do something.
Like right now.
I mean, we could. This show is an open format, so
Okay.
Yeah.
at any point, especially as bartenders, we invite you to just like swap. So
Is that what it is?
No, that's a maple and Szechuan syrup.
okay.
Allspice.
Yeah, and allspice.
Wow.
Just just something to play with. Some brown sugar.
I love Szechuan.
I had some simple syrup, but I let it sit out from last time, so
Oh.
I could quickly crack it really fast.
No, it's fine. I love working with what I have. I think that's fun.
I do too.
The Thanksgiving thing.
I have
Hey, mixologist, let's do
this
it.
one.
Yeah.
This
See
one.
what you got. You got some turkey
This one's so fucking weird. I have not tried it in any capacity. So what I did was I stuck vodka in, you know, those jars of sun-dried tomatoes that are sitting in oil.
Yeah.
Just stuck the vodka in there and let it sit in the freezer for a few months. And I have not even tried it.
Got some color on it.
Yeah, it's fucking wild. I just did a second filter to get more of the oil.
Oh,
out
yeah.
there.
I'll make a drink with this.
Yeah, you gonna get in here?
Yeah, let's do it.
Here, pop over. You can take my spot or Theo's spot.
What would you do if I just...
Come on.
Sorry,
Come on in.
for the audience, you see all these fancy things up here,
Here it comes.
and then
This
this is what fuels the show.
Yeah,
Truly.
we refilled it with
It's a
water.
different flavor every week down here.
We chug it before the show starts.
All right.
Well, yeah. You have the floor.
Okay.
We got ice
That smells
underneath for you.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The
whole bar.
Set up tins.
That's great.
I'm gonna put this
Okay.
first and foremost right here. Is yours done, T?
Yeah.
I'm gonna stick it backwards so you can see the ass in the
see.
front.
What do we got? What do we got? I am going to
The
make
business district, as it were.
BD. I think you might have called it the Central Business District, which is even funnier.
That is really nice.
Okay. Do we have vermouth?
I see a white.
I might have something in the fridge downstairs too.
I mean, it should be in the fridge. Oh, Gallo vermouth. Maybe this is what I have. Gallo. Buy my company. Okay. So,
Wait, your company does Gallo? What?
no, Gallo is the biggest wine company in
Oh,
the
okay,
world.
okay.
And so when you start a company, which I didn't start mine to sell it, but it's a common goal to want to, sell your company to a big company. And Gallo is
Oh,
like
so
one
you're
of them.
saying you want Gallo to buy you?
Yeah, Gallo, come on. I'm using this. I'm using your
Come on,
extra
Gallo.
Also,
supermarket
fuck
vermouth.
you if you don't.
Fuck
Yeah.
you, you don't. That turned into a season 2 motto.
Yeah. No, it is.
Season 1 was please sponsor us, and season 2 is fuck you
pay
for
us.
not. Yeah, fuck you, pay us.
Okay. Yeah. You got any sponsors?
Not yet.
Not yet. I mean, yeah.
Who makes that vape?
Yeah, I mean, Flume.
Flume.
Fuck you if you don't.
There it is.
Oh, this one's yours.
Amar no Nino, we love you.
We're gonna go for Amara Nonino. Just gonna fucking. So this is like a fat wash, right?
It's a fat wash, yeah.
Alright, let's try it. I think we got something. It's like an old pal.
Yeah.
Or as they say in Italy, an old pal.
You know that language so well.
I do. I do. So I'm gonna put this. It's a good glass. I like the swirl.
It's a swirly, yeah.
It works.
It's a statement. Okay, so we did 3/4. We're like kind of. Oh, I just said old pal. Losing my mind.
No, it's okay. You're doing great. You're in a good place.
We're gonna try this blind. We're doing this based on pure math.
I must say,
Maybe a stir
I like
stick.
your technique.
Yes, I do need a spoon.
Let's see.
I mean, I don't really, but you do.
Can you check that guy right there, that bag?
Here we are.
I heard one.
Just.
Yeah,
A very
garnishes.
soothing, smooth, like technique.
Thank you.
Yeah.
How do you stir?
Usually fast and vigorously.
Okay.
No,
Some
I,
people
I
like
have
that.
I have a smooth thing. I like to keep things flowing. So.
Dave Arnold proved kind of recently that 45 seconds, regardless of the speed you're stirring,
Is the maximum.
is like you'll get to your core temperature at 45 seconds. With or without, the only
There's
thing,
too much.
if you spin a little bit faster, you can increase your core temperature by like a degree. So,
I love Dave. I've been on the show a couple of times. We love you. Not everything you say is gospel. There are other things here.
Agreed.
There are other things. So
Agreed.
I think that any sort of teaching that says any sort of amount of time is the same generally ignores environmental factors.
Yeah.
outside temperature.
Outside temperature, the temperature of the glass. Like this is a
Moisture
room
in the
temp
room.
glass, right? So
You're going to be forcing the ice to be working harder because it's now working.
it's working to chill the glass. So we have excess solution here because of the glass. You know, this ice cube itself has a bunch of air inside of it, which is another consideration.
I think I might be leaving out that he may have specifically been talking about old fashions, which is a pretty controlled group of things.
Sure,
So
but
that-
like at some bars you freeze the glass.
Yeah, that's true.
Right? At some bars, and
true.
whether your ice is wet or not makes a very big difference.
Yeah.
So like that's more important than how long you stir.
Yeah.
The other thing is that there's almost like a personal style to making a drink. So like, you know, the way that I was taught to make old fashions was like under stir them because somebody's going to be sitting with it. And so at some point, if you stir it perfectly, like if you stir it for Dave's 45 seconds and you serve it perfect, it's only going to go downhill from there. If you allow it to be like a little too strong when you serve it, and then it sort of builds to perfect and then sort of like arcs back down to a little over diluted, that gives the guest like a
more of a
broader
story.
range,
Yeah, it's
right?
more of
So,
a story arc.
all right, I can't see how a lemon peel wouldn't be good.
I think that's a good choice. That feels right in my brain.
Have you educated your viewers on how to peel a lemon without cutting their palms?
You go towards that little palmy boy.
Yeah,
And
so
you try to pull the fruit, not pull the peeler.
yeah, so this is important for the people at
I
home.
love this.
We're gonna put our finger across the peeler, and we're gonna move the fruit. You want to be very controlled here. This is what I'm gonna cut my palm, right? And then once you're at the bottom,
Better than cutting your finger.
you sort of turn it
Slice it.
and you slice it up.
Yeah.
Beautiful peels. Two
Thank
right
you.
in the back. And very little pith too, so he has really good control over that white peeler.
I have ultimate control. Who wants to try it first? It's not gonna be me.
Sure will.
I learned that from kings of the Middle Ages.
Oh. You're very worried about assassination.
Yeah. That's I stay awake at night, every night. I don't sleep. I just think about
I
being
also
assassinated.
worry about assassinations, but I think mine are more like home invasion murder.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's more
That's not an assassination.
Right? It doesn't count.
None of us can be assassinated because we're not important.
You're getting
True.
there.
nobody would
He's
say.
he's
It would say
notoriously
local business owner shot dead. It would not say Aaron Polsky was assassinated.
right.
Polsky-
Yet.
One day I would like to be.
The it's a deep fat washed voice.
That is interesting.
It's interesting.
Oof.
It's a bit of a salad in a
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a bit of a salad glass.
Oh, it builds too. The
Yeah,
salad
it
just
does.
builds.
Yeah.
This is the 90s. This glass, the sun-dried tomatoes. This may as well have been like your parents got it on vacation in Italy.
Yeah.
Like we all love
The
the Nino,
sun-dried.
but together. Oh, and the Gallo
The
vermouth
Gallo.
at room temp.
At room
This
temp,
is the
that was
90s
previously open
in the
too.
glass.
This is yeah.
I think we're gonna have to do some cocaine after this.
Oh yeah.
I made a drink at work the other day that I coined
Kidding,
a
by the
term.
way,
That's so
kidding.
70s. It's passion fruit or shot. Half Italicus, bergamot, half yellow chartreuse,
Jesus.
and then an ounce and a quarter of, I think it was rum, honestly.
Was there any citrus juice? in
Yes, just a half ounce of lemon.
there? Okay.
Yeah,
Those are some strong flavors.
it was some really strong flavors. It felt like a very 70s cocktail. So when you just said that's 90s, I was like, oh man, we're fucking doing a.
Your parents just
This is
remodeled their
early
kitchen.
90s,
We're doing
93, 92.
We're doing an August
This is-
Wilson century cycle. Is that what he called it? August Wilson's the prolific black playwright
Yeah.
of such things as Fences.
Yeah.
Okay.
And his work, he actually was dedicated towards doing a play of every decade in between 1900 and 2000.
Okay.
So they are all actually taking it. So we're starting our century series right now. This is
Yeah.
our 90s cocktail.
This is. Glad the 90s are over.
Yeah.
No offense.
I actually find
This
quite
is you
tolerable.
went home. Your mom had the decorative bulbous
Yes.
oil-filled sun-dried tomato and olive
Mhm.
and garlic thing, and you poured the vodka in there.
Yeah.
And then infused
There you
it.
got it. Oh, yes.
And then this is on December
I think you
22nd,
did a really
and then
nice
December
job.
26th,
Of
the day
songs.
before it's time to leave. You strained it out.
Had a little party.
I think we could even doctor it up.
So you went Manhattan style with this. I can see, because I'm tasting so much of the sun-dried tomato at the end. I feel like this could make some kind of sun-dried tomato martini.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's,
You know
it's
what I
simple.
mean?
That's true. I could have
tomato
just done that.
martinis are so, for me, I'm so attracted to them because I see a lot of bars try them, and like
You got to shoot your shot, man.
half of them are nailing it.
Mm.
I'm definitely not gonna be doing a sun-dried tomato martini at Desert
At
Five
Desert
Spot.
Five
Speaking,
spot?
speaking of which,
It's
like,
not
what's your
gonna
favorite bar here in
Oh.
in the city, in Los Angeles?
I have some fire tincture. My favorite bar. I have a lot of favorite bars, but I love Desert Five Spot. Like I can't stay away.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
I like that place. Just does something to me. And actually, recently I said no because I felt like I was dressed like an asshole, and so I didn't go.
That's hard to do there, though.
Yeah, but it's a Western bar. I was wearing like Hoka's because I had been doing a demo, and they were like actual running shoes. I was like, I can't go to Desert
I
Five
don't
like
even
that.
know
you
what
could-
are.
No, I can't do it. Can't do it. Hoka's are like super cushiony running shoes.
Okay,
Yeah, I remember.
I think you would have been fine.
Yeah,
You're
you
you're a confident person who's not out
All
there
right, how's
for
the update?
the wrong reasons.
spice it up a little bit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it might
they
be
do.
too much spice.
You're not out there like a lot of the assassins that are at Desert Five Spot.
There are assassins at Desert Five
I
Spot?
forgot to tell you. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, it's an interesting layer.
Yeah, this might have to die. This drink might have to.
Yeah, it's a little tough for me.
Yeah.
Personally, but
It's not the best drink
It's
I've
too
ever made,
vegetable.
but
it's
I feel like you go even
definitely
more vegetal might boost it. Like I could grab some basil.
I was gonna say
Yeah.
throw basil in there.
holy basil.
I've got two big plants right outside this door. It would be as easy as 20
Oh, you even,
seconds.
I mean, you have truffle infused. That stuff made me yak. All
Did it
over.
really?
Yes, it did.
All
And
over the place.
And I
I did not
don't,
yak.
I don't get hangovers. Thank God. I don't.
Truffle comedians.
So you know at Italy they
It's
have those
definitely
canned
stuff.
black truffle cans that are probably bound in some kind of oil.
Wow,
Yeah,
that is truffle.
right.
I sat that in that with it through a cheesecloth, and my God, did the black truffle take over? My God, or you know, and the oils that are probably paired with it.
Yeah, I mean,
Right, there are a lot of
there were chunks. Like, it was a very chunky.
Random things.
This is true. I will say, while we do not use any artificial flavors in our product, there are lots of things that are derived from petroleum because petroleum is like carbon, right? So it's sort of like a base building block for things. But artificial flavors are not exclusively made from like weird shit like petroleum. So a great example is vanilla. So a natural flavor has to be made from a food item. That's literally all that's required. So there are sort of 3 levels. There's an extract.
Do insects count as food?
That is a good question. We'll get to this.
Okay, yeah.
So, are you talking about cochineal color?
Yeah.
I believe that carmine, which is cochineal, is considered a natural food coloring, which is made from crushing up red beetles, essentially. That's what Campari used to be made with.
Yeah.
Artificial colors are usually derived from like non-food things, but with flavors, right?
Okay.
So there are extracts. So I think ginger is a great example. You can make a ginger extract. You can soak ginger in alcohol and you've got an extract. If you say, this is not spicy enough, how do we like juice it up a little bit and add a jalapeno extract that's made in the same way? You now have ginger natural flavor because you've added another named source.
Oh, you sneaky bastards.
Yeah. So that's all that's the difference between the flavor and the extract. Now with artificial...
One sec.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Our card dead?
I think my battery is dying.
Okay.
Did it kill the shot yet?
Possibly.
We're good?
We are good.
All right.
We're into artificial.
So artificial flavors are made from a non-food source. So let's look at vanilla. So vanilla extract is vanilla soaked in alcohol. Vanilla flavor is like vanilla soaked in alcohol plus add, I don't know, coconut, right? Soaked in alcohol to juice it up. And then, you know, we soak whiskey or wine, we age it in barrels, which have vanillins in the oak, right? The vanillins seep into the oak, and those oak is wood. It's a real thing. It's a natural thing.
It's a natural thing.
And vanillins are a real compound that occur in lots of things. If you soak oak in alcohol to get the vanillins out, that's an artificial flavor because oak is not a food.
Huh.
Yeah.
Even though it's a natural
Yeah.
product. Oh, okay.
So,
Alright, that makes sense.
an interesting thing about
Yeah, that
vanillins
makes sense.
and artificial.
Vanillins.
Yeah.
Things that taste like vanilla that are not vanilla.
Well, vanilla contains vanillin. It's the compound.
Got it.
Right, so terpenes, right? Terpenes are in hops and in weed and stuff, right? Limonene is a terpene. Limonene is also in lemon. It's like the actual flavor molecule.
It's the essence of.
Yeah.
How much of this did you know before you started doing craft cocktails? Or canned cocktails?
I knew a good deal about it before. I think most of the procedural and legal stuff is like, I learned like farther on down the line.
Yeah. So do you think the hardest part of your business and your branding is the marketing advertising aspect? Just getting it out there? Or
That's certainly a challenging part of it because it's like marketing is a thing that is multi-pronged, right? There's no magic bullet. You have to you have to hit it from every angle. So I think the best use of my time is like the most return is probably those in-store tastings with like a limited budget. With more budget, you know, you can do online ads, you can do influencer partnerships, you can do like festivals. Although I think that festivals are sort of where it veers into vanity advertising, right? So I think that billboard is vanity advertising. There's like not a whole lot that you can communicate to somebody who's in traffic nowadays, probably on their phone.
I feel like it's an outdated technique for advertisers to use billboards.
And they're desperate to
Especially
hold
in
on.
LA too. It feels like they're so targeted towards us that they're not actually like you have an ad man who's just setting up billboards for like one corner. He's like, I think this would do great on 51.
No, you have to buy them in packages.
Yeah.
typically.
Okay.
So like I've talked to
10,000 a
billboard
day.
guys and they're like, you can get 15 billboards all down Sunset. They're like the 11-foot ones, like
Yeah.
not super big. They're like, it's this this much per month, and you get all of these.
But they feel so targeted towards us specifically that I'm like, there has to be
Well, they kind of
a
are.
copywriter guy who's like the LA billboard guy.
No, you put your own stuff on billboards.
Okay.
Yeah, you as the brand
But I mean the
decide
big,
what
I
goes
mean,
on the
I mean the
billboards.
big companies like you see like Balenciaga or like a.
Well, they definitely have preference on where they put those billboards so that the most LA people can see it. I imagine. 'Cause
Yeah.
I know that going downtown, you see more STD billboards and like go
Right.
hell.
Yeah. AHF does a lot of billboard.
Yeah,
advertising.
exactly. So it's
STD
definitely-
Timeless is a pretty funny one. They've got the two old people and they're making out.
It's the one that I see the most. Like, holy shit! That you know, it's
I love that shit.
old people got to get theirs too. But yeah, no, that's fascinating. Dude.
It's really
It's-
fascinating.
Yeah.
Super cool. You're like the king of canned cocktails right now.
You know, I appreciate that.
Yeah,
And we got you on the show and we're so grateful.
yeah.
I'm grateful you guys called me. We've talked about it for a little while now.
Yeah, we have, but I'm really glad it kind
Yeah.
of materialized, dude.
And this is why I do tastings in the Whole Foods, because that's where I saw you. That's where we exchanged numbers, and now we're here.
Now we're here.
Yeah.
Well, bro.
We're putting this out on every billboard on Sunset.
Just
we?
play it. Yeah,
Just it's gonna
electronic
play our
billboards.
episode. It's just gonna be a back and back of you saying billboards are vanity placement. Billboards are vanity placement.
I think you have
Over
something
and over
there.
again.
I think you have something there.
Yeah.
Bro, thank you for coming on the show.
Yeah, this has been fantastic.
I am now a canned cocktail guy. If I do drink canned cocktails, it's going to be with you.
Yeah,
you.
where do we find these in if you're lucky enough to be in the LA area or otherwise, where can we grab these so we can get them on the next show?
Yeah, so Whole Foods we've talked about a lot. They sell them Barkeeper, Liquor Fountain, K&L, Silver Lake Wine. We've got
I love K&L.
Yeah, K&L is great. We're in a handful of really great independent liquor stores. And then you can go online as well to our website, drinklivewire.com. We do free shipping. It's actually a really good deal if you buy a 24-pack. And you can follow along at Drink Livewire. We're about to do a packaging change as well. So you can see what our new packaging is about to look like.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Can we do one more cheers in some?
Oh, yeah,
capacity
let's
with
do it.
something?
We need
We can do whatever we want
something.
with it.
We
We
need
could
a
even do
cocktail
water
or-
if we wanted to, or we could make something new. We got all this fresh lemon juice. We can make like a sour or something.
Let's see.
Yeah.
It's up to you. I mean, I can make you guys something.
Let me jump back here. Aaron, let me put you back in your hot seat.
Yeah, put me back into my hot seat.
Would you like the middle or?
Either way.
A nice velvet counter height stool. I love it.
You know you're doing something right when
The
you say
velveteen chair.
velveteen.
All right, let's take out these weird gold rim guys and that one. We'll clean this one a bit. Good. Tins. Grab some ice.
Need some space.
My ADHD brain does not comprehend space. I'm like, oh, there are things in front of me. Let's do some of this maple Szechuan. I got a laugh from Bridge on that. Stick an ounce of this bad boy.
Do you still have a lab, like sort of a home bar?
Kind of. I've evolved at the age where I like a nice kitchen,
Yes.
you know.
I'm.
But I do have the cabinet where I shove all my tools and micro pipettes and flavor samples and all of that.
Nice.
Oh, you're
Jepson's
Malorting us.
Malort?
God bless you. Fuck. Why?
Is it just lemon and Malort and maple?
We haven't done lemon yet.
I hear the disdain in his voice with that. Like, golly.
I think we might be able to make this work.
Golly.
Oh man.
I think we can.
We need to get home tonight, bro. This is.
Malort's not gonna kill you. It's just gonna make your
I
ancestors
don't want to be
die.
stronger.
I don't want to be tougher.
You're using the tomato thing too?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Sorry, I mean this is exciting.
Yeah.
You know what you're doing. You're not. I'm not insulting you here.
I mean,
You're
I'm
trolling.
playing. I am trolling a little bit, but I think that there might be something here.
Yeah, there is something there. That's for sure. The urinal cake.
Ugh.
Let's see if we can sweeten the pot a little bit with just a little quarter ounce of some orange cognac base.
These are some strong flavors, my friend.
Well, I gotta return some videotapes.
Yeah, it's been great. We love you. Aaron Polsky, everybody.
It's a salad cocktail for sure.
I hope to never have a salad that tastes like this.
I think, the disgustingness and armpit flavor of grapefruit that we're going to get from the JP is going to cut through the oily bits.
I don't think anybody has ever been like, I want the flavor of Indian armpit. Like, that just, I don't think that exists.
Well, we just have to take a sip of this, my friends.
Throw some cumin on it and we're set. Oh, look at that color.
It's like,
Kind
it's
of
like
looks
an Oro Blanco.
There's,
Here, I'll sip this first and poison taste it for the kings.
No. Let's do it.
Okay.
Let's do it right.
All right.
Let's end the show correct.
Who's starting this and who's ending this?
I'll start.
Okay, great.
Fuck you.
It's been real.
Now we gotta go fuck off and puke. Love y'all. Cheers. Oof.
It's not the worst, but we don't have to do this.
No, we don't have to do this.
Yes.
But I'll go fucking hot ones on you if you put that down. I'll put it down.
Surprisingly, it's not bad.
Yeah, it's better than I expected.
Nice. Well done.
I was just trying to make, like when you like in Harry Potter when they've got the things that are like they envision your fear, and then you like put a clown face on them, and suddenly you're less scared of it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So this is a psychological.
This is a PTSD for our shared pain with JP's Jepson's Malort. But I wanted to,
I like Malort.
God bless you.
Within
I don't know
reason.
how you do it.
within reason.
I don't know how you do it. To be fair, and this is maybe.
I'm a mean person, so I'm gonna drink all this.
Yeah. Yes, you should. And mine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Simply because I got a dry fin.
same.
Yeah.
Well, it's been a wonderful episode,
This has been great.
and we snuck Malort in there too.
Yeah.
We have the king of canned cocktails right now.
Truly. And
Snoop,
not the can cocktail.
Snoop, if you want that title, you just gotta get on the show and vie for your right for why you should be better. But
Snoop, don't listen.
it's gonna be difficult,
Yeah,
brother. This central business district right here is unimaginably good.
True. It is true.
We work hard on the flavor of the central business.
That's great.
The business is